It's crazy how things work sometimes. Like how you'll see something and then it's kind of like I don't know, like a direction to go or something. Anyway, I saw this picture, dude, and I figured you guys were just like every other city council, pieces of shit, whatever. But then I saw Constitution Week, and I was like, well, wait a minute. And then so I started watching some videos, and I realized like Foshin's not the only one. You know what I mean? I saw JMAs and then fucking Liberty Troll all get treated the same way, almost the same way. You guys do treat Foshin differently, but so then I started to look even more, and like, if you guys, I purposely didn't watch council meetings because I didn't want to be biased myself. I want the picture that I see to be the picture, the way I picture you guys. Because as soon as I think you guys are corrupt, I just don't give a fuck. But I'm gonna pretend like you guys are the good guys and give you a fair warning. Your lawyer and that judge have already implicated you guys in a federal lawsuit. I mean, it just hasn't been noticed yet, but it will be. So, and they're gonna keep doing it because this lawyer thinks he's God, dude. He thinks he can making stuff up. He's telling you guys lies, and then he's using the cops to promote the lies, and then it just getting him stuck in a constitutional rock and hard place. If you know what I'm saying. Well, you're gonna know what I'm saying if you watch the rest of this video. Like in my experience, even the pieces of shits lawyers, I at least play by the rules or bend the rules or whatever. This dude is straight omitting them, making them up, and lying to everybody's face. And the judge is helping him do it. I'm sorry, the code enforcement lady. And as far as the United States of America goes, there's two things that are just deplorable, and that's going AWOL during war and during times of peace, stopping your own fellow journalists from spreading news around the world, you know what I mean, around the United States or whatever, of things that are of national importance, things that are of, local importance or whatever. Stopping the news, the free press, and our fucking army are the two things that keep us and establish us in the world, right? And your lawyer is fucking one of those up. As far as like attacks domestically on the country, like ending journalism or stopping the journalistic flow is like one of the main things. Like that is what separates us from the rest of the world. 3/4 of the rest of this world does not even have access to this to the surface web. Like, you know what I'm saying? They have to download illegal programs to get on the internet. You know what I'm saying? To look at news. That's like it's like crack to them. You know what I mean? They have to go fucking around the corner and find it and shit, and do illegal things to get it. Like that is one of the pillars of America is a free press, and like your city is stopping that blatantly. Well, I mean, it's not really blatant right now because he's trying to conceal it, but anyhow, I'm rambling on again, but I want you guys to know, because you guys look like a bunch of rich assholes who travel around the world and have been to other countries and stuff. And if that's the case, then you guys already know what's up, dude. And then also too, the wrestler guy. Tell me that bad press isn't good press. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter, right? Like, just because what they're saying you don't agree with doesn't mean that it's not going to get you votes. You know what I'm saying? Like, wrestler, you know this because again, who are the most famous wrestlers in the world? The hated ones. You know what I mean? The ones that draw the most attention to. So they can't sit there and tell you that bad press is bad. We got to fucking hamstring this guy, right? You need to tell them that bad press is good press. And also, if it ends up being bad press, then guess what, dude? Nobody likes. I mean, nobody. There's not much more of a more noble story than dispelling corruption out of your ranks. You know what I mean, dude? Call the fucking lawyers out, fucking fire them publicly, and fucking be the heroes. You know what I mean? For everybody, for us, for your fucking council, and for America. You know what I'm saying? Oh, and then apologize to Foshin, Liberty Troll, and the old guy, and JMA, and maybe let them just, have a couple tort claim lawsuits, man, and you'll only spend probably 1/4 of what you would if you keep this shit up, because those guys are fucking relentless, dude. And there's another guy named Gray out there in Florida that you don't want to show up anywhere near your town because he has a magic mirror that he holds up to people, and it's going to see right through everything. So I'm just telling you, man.
Can I speak with a American-loving patriot, please? Do you guys have those here?
Can you step outside?
I don't speak to communists. Have you read this before?
I don't need to read that.
Have you read it?
Do you want this bitch's words to be your legacy, Longwood? I didn't think so. Change it.
For those of you just coming in, we're going inside the public lobby in this public police department in Longwood, Florida, where they have an unconstitutional ordinance against recording inside of here, which you can already see. Video and audio recording in the police department lobby is prohibited except for law enforcement personnel because they're sovereign citizens in their law enforcement capacity.
The way he says that so nonchalant, dude. Dude, I'm literally crying right now. Now, LT here is going to give us a refresher in the language of the First Amendment, and we're going to put it side by side with the language on the door, and you tell me if it's a violation, right? Because people say that, oh, I'm violating my Constitution, right? You tell me.
That's what they did the last 2 times somebody was here. So we're in the Longwood Police Department, committed to communism. So restricted areas are beyond this door right here where it says, do not enter a restricted area, authorized personnel only. And on this door as well, any moment now, law enforcement's gonna come through this door, pretty sure, and tell me to stop. What's ironic is they have these Constitution booklets sitting right here. Maybe I can hand this to the police officer and ask him to read the First Amendment out loud. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press or the right of the people peaceably, to assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. This is at the city of Longwood,
Okay, since we all understand this, this is for you, City Council. This is your role in this, okay? See how it says Congress shall make no law? All right. I know it's a hard stretch of the imagination to believe this, but you guys are Congress, because Congress is a fucking verb and a noun, but it's also a verb. And it doesn't say the United States Congress shall make no law. It says Congress. Any group of people that congresses together to make a law shall make no law prohibiting speech or the exercise thereof, meaning whatever speech comes out, you shall make no law prohibiting that, right? You can restrict it a little bit every now and then, right? But again, no, Congress shall make no law. That's you, Congress, you are the city council, shall make no law. And I know you're thinking, it's a city ordinance, right? Well, guess what? When a law, what's the difference between a policy and a rule and a law? Policies are made for the employees and need to be agreed upon. Rules are made by the employer for the employees that need to be followed, and laws are made for the people that have consequences. As soon as you attach state actors to punish you with consequences for breaking those rules or policies, then they become law, right? Gross, disgusting, unconstitutional, ambiguous laws. They're unconstitutional if you do it that way. As soon as you use state actors, as soon as you use police to enforce a rule or a policy, it becomes a law. So regardless of your vote or whatever, the fact that you guys wrote this thing out and then punished somebody for it and didn't give it any constitutional muster of any sort, right, makes it an unconstitutional law. And it is, just on its face. It's literally, the law says videotaping and audio recording is prohibited. That's First Amendment activity. And the First Amendment says you cannot prohibit people's speech, right? Videotaping and audio recording has been deemed free speech. That's a fact. That's an absolute fact, right? And it says you shall make no law abridging or prohibiting. It literally uses the word prohibit. Look, First Amendment, don't prohibit speech. Longwood Police Department, when you walk through the store, speech is prohibited. Okay? That's what it is. Fix it. First off, straight away, you have to have a corrupt police department that is just horrible when it comes to anything that has to do with the public, right? They all have to be liars.
Yeah, just sign it real quick.
If you can.
I can wait here.
You want it right now? Yeah, give me
Yeah,
just a minute.
yeah.
Yeah.
Did you want to provide any information to us as far as your identification or anything like that?
Of course not.
Okay.
So, for those of you who don't understand Liberty Troll's dialect, it's respect, right? And some of us don't understand that. So, let me translate to people who don't know that dialect. What he meant to say in our dialect was, fuck no, you're not getting my ID.
Or identification or anything like that?
Of course not.
Okay.
No.
The trespass will be valid for 1 year.
1 year. Yeah, I value my rights. My First Amendment, but also my Fourth Amendment. So, yeah.
Wait a minute, did somebody say Fourth Amendment?
Step out of the vehicle.
What's wrong with you?
Step out of the vehicle. Now.
And then you also have to have a city
right.
attorney that
Out of
is
the
a complete
vehicle?
douchebag.
Can you let me step out of the vehicle?
Check.
Get out.
That's a necessity. And then you also have to have a quasi-judicial judge, basically anybody who's willing to pretend to be a judge, and then have her, have her be corrupt as well. So that's the beginning of it. Just a prime example here, number 8 of the ordinance, right? The underlined is what they're adding. It says this is for the hearing that they're having. Formal rules of evidence shall not apply. Shall not apply. You can see that, right, everybody? Okay.
Service on YouTube.
I think I'm all set again.
This is a public service.
This is a public service.
This is a public hamstringing.
Those are recording devices.
That's correct.
You can have a court reporter with you. It's fine. You can have the recording devices are fine. I just wanted to make sure that that's what they were.
Okay, listen to her say, "Is not a court bring a court reporter with you." Why would she mention that?
Those are recording devices.
That's correct.
You can have a court reporter with you. Those are recording devices.
That's correct.
You can have a court reporter with you. It's fine. You can have the recording devices are fine. I just meaning that the rules of evidence do loosely apply. They apply.
What was that little comment about bringing a court reporter? That's weird. I mean, that's crazy that it's right next to where it says the rules of evidence shall not apply. So it's not like she didn't read it, you know what I'm saying? Have the right to bring a court reporter at his or her own expense. Oh my gosh. Just want you to see how close these two pieces of text are. She read this, but not this. and the attorney didn't correct her and say, oh, the rules of evidence don't apply. I'm sorry, shall not apply, right? Yeah, that just blew on by him too. I'm sorry. She did read where it says the rules shall not apply. She just misread it. You know what I mean? She probably missed a letter or two, but she thinks it means shall loosely apply.
Meaning that the rules of evidence do loosely apply. They apply. Meaning that the rules of evidence do loosely apply. They apply.
Just to be clear, this is what it says. The rules of evidence shall not apply. This is what she read, right? She read the rules of evidence apply or do apply. They apply. I mean, she would have to have dyslexia and glaucoma and be half freaking retarded, maybe a detached retina and bad prescription glasses, and then also, I don't know, have some kind of... Okay, I'll shut up. I'm sorry, guys. I know y'all don't like to hear that. I cannot stand these people.
Following my opening remarks, we will swear in the witnesses, so anyone who anticipates giving any testimony.
Ooh, let me go first. I'm going to go first. The opening remarks. Okay, here we go. This is Amy Good, blah, 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 right? She's from New York, and she's a liar and a sack of crap. And here's a video about her where she even says she likes to conspire with opposing counsel and judges. I mean, it can't get any more clear. Oh, did I say she's from New York, right? Isn't that where the chief is from, too? Getting curious.
Law school, which is far less diverse when you go to undergraduate school, the variety of topics that you study. In law school, it's really all law. I worked through law school during summers, during the school year to make extra money in a variety of law firms, everything from real estate law to federal law.
Oh, federal law, huh? You need 5 days to go over case law? Come on, lady. Come on. I mean, come on. We all know what's going on here. Come on.
But I had an idea of what was out there. I've been an attorney for almost 30 years now. And I've developed this approach over a period of time because it engages clients. When they sit down and meet me for the first time, they tell me their story and I listen. I make sure that I know the people in my profession who do what I do and I have good relationships with them so I know what to expect.
Whoa, back the truck up a little bit. That sounded a lot like a confession. And also, it's hard to believe that somebody who's been a graduate of law school since the mid-'80s doesn't know anything about case law or anything about the right to record or mistakes the words shall not apply for loosely apply. Hey, Miss God, whenever you were like, a girl, a younger girl, like 30-ish years younger, and you were in law school, right? And you were like talking to your friends, like, did you know that when you were 60-ish years old that you were just going to be working for an ordinance, a fake judge for an ordinance team, and be hamstringing up innocent people? Here's my question. Did you grow into a piece of shit, or did you start that way and devolve into a piece of shit? I want that answered. I mean, you're the color of a burnt turd, so you look like a piece of shit. But I'm doing a study on the de-evolution of the human soul, and I think most of it has to do with law and bad law students, right, that turn into people like you, ordinance judges. I'm just kidding, you burnt turd. Keep talking.
Because I'm sure that I know the people in my profession who do what I do, and I have good relationships with them, so I know what to expect. Because ultimately, that's what's important to my client, is that I get them their result. And if that means that I have a good relationship with opposing counsel, or I'm very familiar with the judge.
What sucks is if you're going to be dirty, you should at least use that to get to a high position. You worked your way to the middle. Oh, good hands, schmudge hands, lady. You are corrupt as shit, right? You and the city attorney. Oh, by the way, the city attorney.
Like procedurally, so everyone knows what to expect this morning.
Relationships with them, so I know what to expect.
Knows what to expect this morning. First of all, my name is Amy Good.
Good boy.
Magistrate will be hearing this trespass warning this morning. Following my opening remarks, we will swear in the witnesses. So anyone who anticipates giving any testimony today, we'll all stand and we'll swear everyone in as witnesses. If anyone comes in late, we can swear them in later. If you're not sure if you're going to give testimony, probably a good idea just to stand up so we don't have to stop down after every person gives testimony.
Yeah, no big deal. Everybody should just swear in, you know what I mean? Everybody except the attorney, right? Everybody except the other attorney, right? Miss Good.
Once I do that, I will ask each of the parties, you have the option, not the requirement, if you would like to present in summary form initially, for up to about no more than 10 minutes, a summary of your argument here today. Typically, that would be the appellant first, then the...
Yes, so my coworkers that are on Microsoft Teams right now, which are looking at the computers that's in front of my face, can Google it before you even know it. No way, bitch.
I believe the city second, but you could choose to waive that and just jump into your evidence. And it would be at the beginning of your case, so if the appellant would go first, the city has the right then also to make a statement, or the city could wait till the beginning of its case as it chooses, or waive that right as well. Following those openings, we will then ask the appellant to begin by calling any witnesses that you may have following the testimony and introduction and testimony of each witness, introduction of any exhibits. There'll be cross-examination by the city if there is any. I will also possibly ask some questions, maybe, maybe not, depending. Once the appellant will have presented all of its witnesses and all of its evidence, the city will be afforded the same opportunity, and the appellant, you'll be given the opportunity, Mr. Gray, to ask any questions you want of the city's witnesses that fall in the nature of cross-examination. These proceedings are quasi-judicial proceedings, meaning that the rules of evidence do loosely apply. They apply, so...
Hey, hold on, excuse me? They do loosely apply? They apply? Dude, I know it looks like Potion's not paying attention, but she is so good at her doublespeak, dude. She just slid that one in there. I bet he didn't hear it. Okay, aspiring corrupt government people. Just practice that like 100 times. That's your homework. Loosely apply, they apply. Loosely apply, they apply. Try to say it like it's all one word. You know what I mean? Loosely apply, they apply. If this was a real court and real rules were happening, anybody who heard the language, if the rules loosely apply, you can't loosely apply a rule, dude. It's not daintily applied. It's not only a minor rule. You know what I mean? There's no level of severity or there's no value you can place on a rule, whether it's more or less. It's a rule or it's not, right? So that statement right there should raise some red flags for people who think critically and normally. The idea that rules randomly pop up or are unevenly spaced throughout is ridiculous. The only thing you can do with the rule is choose to apply it or not, and you're the one making the choices, so you're obviously in this fucking conspiracy, lady. You just gave yourself away. Now, let's go back to the opening statements like she was talking about in here, but this fucking douchebag says.
Timer on anyone, but so that neither side overwhelms everyone with time. So I'll try to keep an eye loosely on those things. Okay, at this time, I'm going to ask that anyone who anticipates giving any testimony today, that you stand and raise your right hand.
Is what I'm doing testimony?
If you're going to present evidence and talk about what I'm probably, I
So
can't say.
is he not doing that?
Giving any testimony today, that you stand and raise your right hand.
Is what I'm doing testimony?
If you're going to present evidence and talk about what I'm probably, I
So
can't say.
is he not doing that?
He's acting as an attorney, so he'll be calling witnesses to give testimony. But
I know what we heard her say. She said that he's going to be calling witnesses to give testimony, but she really meant he's going to be lying his ass off this whole time. So
I assume you're going to be witness in your own case.
Well, I'm not sure how I would call myself.
okay, so this bitch pulled a whole legal advice thing. Legal advice is not how to do, that's procedural. What to do is legal advice. Like, what should I do? Should I sue him, or should I get a lawyer, or what should I do? That would be legal advice. How do I do something is procedural, and her responsibility or duty to tell him how to do it. You know what I mean? Because he's not a lawyer. She's miscategorizing what legal advice is.
Well, I can't give you legal advice, but if you're unsure, it doesn't hurt to get sworn in. If you're uncomfortable with that, you don't have to, but then obviously your testimony won't be under oath. So it is, if you say this is what happened because I was there, then that's testimony.
Sure.
Okay. You solemnly swear oath or affirm the testimony you will give today will be the truth and the whole truth.
I do.
Yes, very much. Okay, at this time, I'm going to ask if you would like Mr. Gray, if you're not required to present a summary of, but this isn't all your evidence, a summary of what your legal arguments would be today, if you want to do that. And again, as I said, probably no more than 10 minutes. If you want to waive that right, that's up to you.
I make the right choice here. Good fucking job, Foshin. Good job. That was the right choice.
I can waive that right. I don't think it's necessary. I'll be quite redundant if I give a statement and then directly go into the evidence that covers that statement, basically. So I'll waive that. So I'll just begin, I suppose.
Let me ask the city if it wants to make an opening statement.
I would.
Mr. Lanning?
Good morning. Thank you.
This dude is unhinged. I know it doesn't seem like it, but look what he does with this finger right here. Watch what he does with him when he starts talking, dude. He like digs it into his arm and holds it there hard.
For your time, Your Honor. On September 4th, 2025, Mr. Joshua Gray arrived at the Longwood Police Department lobby with the intention of violating Ordinance 25-2266 and with the intention of confronting law enforcement personnel regarding their prohibition of video and audio recording within the Longwood Police Department lobby.
Does anybody want to tell this guy you don't need to prove elements of a crime if there's no crime done, even if you have the elements? If you walk into a Payless shoe store, right, and your plan is to steal a $10 pair of shoes and you never do it, you're not a criminal. Who cares if you can prove that fucking what I wanted to do? Dude, I want to go. Never mind.
The City Commission adopted Ordinance number 25-2266.
And that's one thing criminals always do is they always name their accomplices. So when it comes time to face the music, they have a whole bunch of fingers to point at. But see, you guys you council members were unknowing, right? And this isn't a joke, dude. This is real shit.
Earlier this year, Mr. Gray was aware of such ordinance, was aware of the prohibition.
Aware of the prohibition. That is a legal impossibility and an actual improbability because you can't prohibit videotaping. It's First Amendment protected. How could he be aware of something that's impossible to happen in America? Now, I would like to establish what he's about to say and take judicial notice of this. And thank you, Lane Myers, because you're the one who taught me to look out for this kind of stuff. But this guy is about to defeat his own arguments. He's going to describe perfectly from his own mouth the definition of a news reporter / journalist.
And Mr. Gray was recording his interactions on September 4th, 2025 on his smartphone, live streaming them to his YouTube channel, and later posted an edited version of that recording on YouTube. His channel's called This Is a Public Service. His own video that he posted 100% shows that
It shows that no matter how hard in the future you try to delegitimize his status as a news reporter, you're going to fail because your own words said otherwise. You stupid idiot, dude. You must have been a C student. Probably at report card day, you probably came running to your mom and say, "Look, mom, see? Dude, you know what I did? I sat back on the couch like a pimp and I said, hey.
That he violated the city's ordinance. Should be no dispute about that.
Did he violate the city's ordinance, or did he uphold his duty to the Constitution and the people of the United States and stop a vile thing from happening and a trend that might run through all the cities and turn this place into a dictatorship, right? Did he just defend the Constitution, or did he violate an ordinance that, oh, I'm sorry. Let's talk about this. Well, go ahead. There's way more, guys. There's like 4 more things.
Mr. Gray, in fact, with prior knowledge of the prohibition of recording and video and audio within the PD lobby, willfully and knowingly violated such ordinance.
Okay, so in crazy world, let's say he potentially violated an ordinance that was made specifically for him like a month ago and lied to the council so they could vote on it, right? And then supposedly put into place, right? You know what you did? You violated a 200-year-old constitution of your own country, right? And check this out. You don't think there's any actionable action for that, right? A disciplinary action? Look at the state bar. This was just updated. And I remember it because when I read it, I was like, that is wicked. You know how like if you swear an oath, and if somebody did something and turns out they didn't, right? Then you're lying because you swore an oath to tell the truth, right? Well, this is kind of that thing. Like if I'm right about him upholding his constitution or our constitution or the state's constitution, then that means you were guilty of attacking it, right? Violation of the oath taken by a lawyer to support the Constitution of the United States and the state of Florida is ground for disciplinary action. Membership in alliance with or support an organization, group, or party advocating or dedicated to the overthrow of the government by violence is and means violation of the Constitution of the United States or Constitution of the state is a violation of the oath. That's updated up to October 25th of 2025, brother man. You better be careful. Dude, and if you don't think you just dipped yourself in shit and used the Constitution to wipe your ass because it's like so old and so crumply and crinkly you don't even remember it, think again, buddy, because people are starting to realize you're communists, right? And let me refresh your memory on the language of the Constitution, all right there, pal?
I can't document my public records request.
Can you step out with us?
Can I speak with a American-loving patriot, please? Do you guys have those here?
Can you step outside?
I don't speak to communists. Have you read this before?
I don't need to read that.
Have you read it?
She doesn't need to read that, but when it comes time to take an oath, she needs to take that oath to get a paycheck, right? So that kind of sounds like she's selling her government out, you know?
And the posted sign on the door of the lobby of the police department at Clarion indicated to the public that a person is not allowed to video and audio record within the police department lobby.
First of all, that's misrepresenting facts that are in evidence because he admitted a picture of the front door, but it says that law enforcement is allowed to record and they are a person, right? What the fuck?
He did so anyway. The evidence shows that clear and convincingly that he violated the ordinance. Sergeant Gelm with the Longwood Police Department followed standard protocol and lawfully issued a trespass warning to Mr. Gray.
Again, he's lying. A standard protocol is to witness somebody breaking a law, right? A law that's on the books, an actual law, right? This, and then issuing them a trespass, right? This time, they made up the protocol. The protocol has never been to observe somebody who might be breaking a law. It's to have them actually break the law right in front of your very eyes and then trespass them. This rewrites the protocol to say, if you think he's filming and you can see that he might be, then put protocol into place. But this is not standard protocol. They're rewriting protocol. It's not standard protocol. He just lied to everybody. This guy is a real worm, dude. This dude's a fucking worm, bro.
For violating the ordinance. This appeal has no merit.
Look, buddy, you should have just stuck to lying profusely and getting people to conspire against this guy, because at talking shit, you're horrible at it. Once again, your shit talking is going to come back and kick you in your own fucking asshole and shove that shit right back in your duty fucking pie, dude. Because check it out, man. If this appeal has no merit, then the ordinance had no merit to begin with, right? This is due process, right? So if he violated the ordinance in bad faith, right? If it was a good faith ordinance and he in bad faith violated it, then this is a part of the process. If this process that you're going through right now has no merit, then your ordinance in the beginning had no merit, because that's the only thing that's it's standing on right now, that this hearing is standing on, is the fact that your ordinance is in good faith, and that his effort to bring that to light was in bad faith. So if that's a true statement, then your stupid, then your ordinance has no merit, bro. How fucking dumb are you? You got to realize something else, man. You need to take the position that you are, know your place in the world, bro. You should be defending or trying to legitimize this fucking ordinance. Just because the city council voted on it, which we're about to find out, it is in bad faith, right? You should be defending your ordinance. You're at an appeal, dude. Think about this, bro. Why do you think in a normal courts, in the regular court system, not this quasi bullshit, why do you think it's called being granted an appeal, right? You have to win that shit. He's already on step 2, right? Even if you think he lost in the beginning, the appeals court is where you fucking you shine. You know what I'm saying? And he got there for free. You got him there for free, dude. You are in the hole right now. You're trying to dig yourself out, bro. You're in no position to talk shit.
I want to just briefly talk about our ordinance.
I don't know about like lawyers in the bar and stuff, but do they have the right to remain silent? Because if they do, they should. And when I say they, I mean this fat fucking piece of shit right here should shut the fuck up right now, because this is where I shine.
25-2266. It codified.
Wrong. It did not codify, because as of today, it's 11/3/25, whatever that is. At 5:40 p.m. This is what it says on the website. You see how it says uncodified right there, buddy? You see that? How it says uncodified, right? Dumbass. Right there, Chapter 2, Article 1.
Into City Code Section 2-2.
Right there, Chapter 2, Article 1.
2-2, which expressly states that
it's written, right? It's not expressly stating anything. It's a document. It's a written document that is there. You're expressly stating it whenever you read it out loud. It's not expressly stating anything. Carry on, retard. Woo! Can we get to a checkpoint or stop for a minute? Motormouth here is talking fast, right? We're right here. On legitimate, and then public, and then business. So we're right here. Shall be considered to be something. I remember the last time I considered something, it was my friend, lady, and I considered her my girlfriend. And then when I tried to kiss her, she slapped me and kicked me in the dick and ran away, because she wasn't something that I thought she was, and still wasn't. Even though I considered it to be that way, it wasn't. Just like this ordinance.
Property on legitimate public business. Anyone who...
The next word is the city manager or his designees, but let's try to find out where he is.
Anyone who...
Oh, he's what? One of these, right? Okay, let's go.
Refuses to cease video or audio recording, or who refuses to immediately leave the premises upon request shall be considered a trespasser. Law enforcement, at its option, may enforce the person's refusal to depart by issuing a trespass warning.
Oh no, Teletubby! That's not what it. That's not what it says. It says depart by means of Section 810.08 of the Florida statutes, or issue trespass warning notice for this conduct. What is 810.08? Is it trespassing from school property? Look at here. 1A. Let's see. Does not have legitimate business on the campus or any other authorization, license, or invitation to enter. Blah 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 blah. Okay. To quote one of the most famous people to ever speak in front of a council board or board meeting, a guy by the name Christos Macropoulos. I think that's how you pronounce it. Anyways, I'm going to quote him and go ahead and say, that may not say rebuttal, but that's a rebuttal, right? Because that may not say you did have an invitation, but that's an open invitation, right? It's an open invitation to the public at the police department. It is an invitation. The public has an invitation. Everybody except Foshin and Liberty Troll and JMA and that old guy. But you see what you're doing here, dude? You're fucking with fire, bro. The only thing in that statute that remotely comes close to prohibiting anything and signs is following this bus stop the bus driver's school stop sign that flips out on the bus. And even that, yes, it's a temporary prohibition, but it's temporary. It goes away. You see, dude?
For this conduct. Additionally, subsection F provides that it is that the city manager or his or her designees have the right to remove any person who acts in a manner which violates any city rule or policy or any directive on any sign or notice at public property. And this violation can be enforced by law enforcement by issuing a trespass warning. So, Your Honor, again, the ordinance speaks very plainly.
Really? Plainly? This guy's delusional, bro.
There's no requirement in the ordinance that the officer that issues the trespass warning know with 100% certainty that one is recording at the time. It's a matter of observing whether there's recording activity happening by the conduct, the statements, the activity.
No, it's not the activity and the recording and the activity. No, there's three things that it depends on. It says, one, will bypass everything with permission of the city manager, in which all you have to do is get his written oath of office because he agreed to uphold the Constitution as well. So that's your written permission. If for some reason they don't want to give you that, then one, you have to be observed, fake or real audio video recording, and then you have to be told to cease recording, and then you have to defy that order and say, no, I'm still recording, and then you will be deemed to not have the business that was just legitimate 5 seconds ago will now become unlegitimate, and then you will be trespassed. So there's like 4 things that has to happen. It's not, you know what I'm saying? Come on, bro, you just read this. Oh, and then also, too, my bad, the last one, it has to be in accordance with Florida Statute Section 810.08, which, again, says that if you have any kind of permission, which open to the public is permission, you're fucking dumb.
That's arising during the incident, and when one is told to cease that observed activity and fails to do so, a trespass warning is appropriate. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Graham, if you'd like to call your first witness.
I'd like to call the chief. Chief Dowda.
We're going to use that chair over there. So loosely apply. They apply. So, but it's loosely apply. They apply. So loosely apply. They apply. So loosely apply. They apply.
Do they? So yeah, I definitely downloaded the right one, but Foshin, it makes me wonder if that colored sheet printout that he tried to give to everybody, if it had it on there. What if it was disappeared, or, you know what I mean, if he didn't, you know what I mean? They shall not apply him. No, they fucking don't. Look here. Rules shall not apply. Formal rules of evidence shall not apply. That's weird, because it kind of seemed like they were applying, you know what I mean? And like when you said, hey, remember I told you the rules apply? You dumb liar. Okay, and then here's the other part to this. Langley, the attorney, the guy that's sitting on the left of Foshin right now. This son of a bitch, the reason his signature is on here because it proves the form and legality of the document, blah, 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 right? For the use and reliance of the city of Longwood. Well, it looks like it's misuse, and it looks like you probably shouldn't rely on this fucking lying sack of shit.
So, but it applies. So, but it applies. So, but it applies. So, applies. So, applies. So, but it applies. So, but
here's the thing, the document that brought on about this whole court case thing right here, or this abomination, says it shall not apply, right? So even loosely apply is a loose lie, you know what I'm saying? How can you get a fair try if your fucking whole case is based on a lie, you know what I'm saying? I mean, literally, this whole proceeding is based on a lie from the judge in the very fucking first 5 minutes of the case. And then she rolls with it too, dude. I mean, I guess it's not really a lie since counsel is the one who told you that was a fact, you know what I mean? So, I mean, what a coinkydink that, Foshin would call him up there and then he would get questioned on it and then he would object during it, dude. This is a conspiracy. Let me show y'all, let me show my receipts.
And we can't record the police there. Am I to understand that correctly?
There is a reasonable expectation of privacy.
But you haven't cited any case saying that we have this reasonable right. It was just some training course that you and Dan went to. Am I to understand that correctly?
You did such a good job, Foshin, because he should have answered that honestly, right? So he's a part of it too, even though the lawyer is the one that gave the PowerPoint presentation that trained, they literally call it training, that trained him to believe this lie. You know what I'm saying? But again, he didn't correct you because you even said, a training you guys went to? Am I to understand that correctly? That's when he should have corrected you and said, no, the lawyer's the one who gave you the PowerPoint presentation. The guy sitting right next to you.
You have no case law saying that this isn't a right. Correct?
Sir?
Yes.
Mr. Gray, this witness has never been established to be a lawyer.
And why would you? Because he's the one who gave the chief the training, dude. That's crazy right now. How pissed are you right now, dude? I just want to know. Tell me later. But yeah, that's crazy, right? Anyway, you nailed it.
I didn't hear an objection.
I can ask you to keep your testimony relevant. I don't need an objection. I'm in charge of the proceeding, and I remember to the rules of evidence apply weekly. Relevant.
She tried to slide that one in there, but she said, remember I told you the rules of evidence apply weekly.
And I remember to the rules of evidence apply weekly. Relevance. And I remember to the rules of evidence apply weekly. Relevance. Lawyer.
I didn't hear an objection.
I can ask you to keep your testimony relevant. I don't need an objection. I'm in charge of the proceeding, and I remember to the rules of evidence apply weekly. Relevance.
Longwood Police Department has the ability to take a conversation that they deem as private that is occurring in the public lobby, and they can take it to a more private area if they feel that privacy is at issue.
They can.
Yes. Thank you, Chief.
Yes, Chief, thank you. Because that's actually not a lie, because you were fed bad information, and I know this. But so, anyways, now that that's been said, right?
Okay, we can move on to the next one.
Whereas the nature of the kinds of public business for which limited public forums are open to the public often involve the disclosure and discussion of private and sensitive information, making the privacy of citizens in such spaces of paramount importance. And
are you familiar with the case McDonough versus Fernandez-Rundle?
Yeah, I must have watched that like 50 times. Dude, that lady was such a fucking disrespectful piece of shit not showing her face on the webcam.
no.
Are you aware that in the state of Florida, somebody has surreptitiously recorded in the chief's office a conversation with the chief, and that went to the 11th Circuit and was found to be found lawful?
Objection. This is irrelevant and calls for legal testimony, and that mischaracterizes that case that I think he's referencing as a wiretapping case, not a case that involves an ordinance. That's before you, Your Honor.
I just asked a clarifying question. I didn't ask
whether it's relevant. So, Mr. Gray, I'm not going to keep you, but I'm just letting you know we're into this for almost 45 minutes, and I am going to give the city the same amount of time I'm giving you this morning. You probably have another 45 minutes before we're going to have a conversation if we're not going to conclude. I'd ask you to keep your comments relevant.
You said the rules were sparsely applied. How is he supposed to know which one, when it applies and when it doesn't? You know, how can you admonish him after you tell him that it's going to be randomized about when the rules of evidence apply and when they don't, bitch?
I'm not certain I don't believe that that's a relevant.
Well, it involves recording in private spaces, not public spaces.
I need everybody to remember that this bitch objected and said that she doesn't think it's relevant about talking about private spaces, recording in private spaces, because later on she's going to bring this up and say, your all-new testimony was about public places.
It's not relevant to this because this is I think everyone agrees this was a public space.
Right, but it involves recording the police. We can move on to the next one, Chief.
Whereas, given the nature of the information being shared by the citizens in a limited public forum, coupled with citizens' obvious and
We
reasonable...
were past that one.
I apologize.
It's all right.
Whereas the City Commission finds that adoption of provisions of the City Code prohibiting the unauthorized public access to restricted, non-public areas and prohibiting video and or audio recording within an enclosed, city-owned, controlled, or leased property not classified as a designated public forum is both reasonable and viewpoint neutral, and is necessary for protecting the safety and welfare of the citizens of Longwood.
Just to be clear, I was never in an unauthorized restricted area, a non-public area, correct?
Objection asked and answered.
The answer was
Go ahead and answer it, sir. I'm going to overrule the objection.
You were not.
so I don't need to be redundant. Thank you. Could I admit the invoice? It's invoice PD 2025. Again,
Your exhibits.
it is. I can bring it up and show the chief if need be.
Give an opportunity to review it.
I don't think it's properly admitted. There hasn't been any foundation laid. I see that if this is the same invoice that was emailed earlier today, it's not dated. It was dated before this incident even occurred, like a month earlier, so I don't see how it's even relevant whatsoever to this proceeding.
What is the, I see an invoice.
So the invoice is
19/2025, correct? That's the records request invoice number PD 21025-582-INV-1.
That's correct. Yeah, it was.
What is the?
It's a request for the body cam inside the lobby. I'm just pointing out that this isn't a neutral. There's nothing neutral about this. I'm barred from filming in the lobby, creating my own record. But if I want to obtain a record, I can pay the city for a record that I could create for free.
I'll leave it for that limited purpose. Just to state that you were charged for the video.
Again, not.
And you can argue from it later, because once it's in evidence, you don't have to restate it.
Thank
That's
you.
just a legal thing. I'm aware, and if you want to recite to it when you're giving me legal arguments at the end of your case.
Thank you.
Or in writing, you can do that. But that's there's an invoice, unless the city claims it's not.
And just to be clear, I didn't pay the invoice. It's just an invoice.
It's an invoice. I didn't say you paid it. I'm sorry.
Okay, so on top of the lawyer using his official position to mislead the chief into thinking that they can somehow possibly designate forums when that's only up to a Supreme Court or a federal court, right? So he misled them into that. So the chief would give the presentation to the city council so they can pass it, which they did. And then this lawyer is now after somebody tried to enforce this city ordinance, Foshin is challenging it on appeal, which is weird. I don't even know how you go straight into appeal. But now the judge is helping in concert with the lawyer, right? And she's doing it in such a way that is so misleading. She just said the city, right? And she keeps, in the beginning, she referred to him as the government, and then she keeps saying the city this, the city that, right? She is the city. She is a judge for the ordinance. She's been working for the city for 10 years. Her checks come from the taxpayers. They look like, I'm sure they look like, if they came from the city, they look like welfare checks. She is the city. She is the city. And she's referring to the city like it's something else. It's misleading.
So that you were charged.
No worries. If you don't have it printed, I can give him a copy of it. I can give him my iPad. Can I take it to him?
He's got to establish the witness is familiar with the invoice.
Have you ever seen invoices from Longwood Police Department, Chief Dowda?
Have I ever seen invoices? Yes. I have not seen this one.
Does that look like a common invoice, or does that look like a legitimate invoice to you?
I've not seen this invoice before.
So he's not allowed to say a single word about case law, which literally drives the parameters and guidelines and boundaries of his job as a professional. But he can attest to to an invoice which he's never seen before because he has nothing to do with the finance. All he does is beg for money and they give it to him. Literally has no idea what an invoice looks like. But she is allowing him to expertly say that this is a legit invoice. My bad. The rules sparsely apply. I mean, they're diet rules. You know what I mean?
But is there any reason for you to believe that this is altered or fake in any way?
No, but I have not seen it before. Not typically part of the process for this to be distributed to someone, so I don't typically see these.
Sure. So I can come in to the Longwood Police, well, I guess I can call the Longwood Police Department right now since I can't go in, but I can obtain footage of my interaction with Sergeant Gelm in the public lobby. I just have to pay for it, right?
You can obtain it, and there is a cost to that video.
So the city is not allowing me to create my own record for free, but I can obtain a record from the city at a cost of, looks like, I don't know, it's $20 an hour, somewhere in that range.
I'm not sure I understand your question. Can you repeat it, please?
Sure. Is it your understanding that I can pay a fee and get a copy of my interaction in the public lobby, but I can't go into the public lobby and create that own record for myself for free?
That's correct.
Can you tell me how that's neutral?
Objection. I'm going to stop the testimony. He didn't say it was neutral. I don't think you can, he never said it was neutral. He just.
The ordinance says it's neutral.
He didn't say it was neutral. You just asked him if he has to pay, if you have to pay versus, and he said yes. So, I mean, you have to establish a foundation for what you're.
Sure. And I apologize. Did I not say, is that neutral? Or what did I say?
I don't remember your exact words. He has to have some familiarity with what you have to cite him to some foundation that he knows with reference to what?
Sure.
What paragraph, in accordance with paragraph 3 of the ordinance or whatever, reference, do a reference point.
Yeah, no, it was the one that he just read, that the public forum is both reasonable and viewpoint neutral. So I'm not trying to get him on a gotcha.
With reference to the language in the last
Yes.
whereas clause. Thank you.
Yes.
Your Honor,
I'm sorry.
If I may also just point out, Mr. Gray, you were provided a free copy of the body cam footage that you're alluding to, because I sent that to you through the Dropbox.
If that, you mean the other day with
Yes,
the
sir.
disclosures?
Yes, sir.
I never got a link. But,
okay.
I appreciate the city giving it to me for free.
All those exhibits, I received the same email, I believe, and they had your email address on it. I don't know if you clicked the link or not, but it was embedded in the email.
Okay, yeah, I didn't get it, but that only goes to the point of the most, I didn't even request the body cam from that event. This is a completely separate event, and I haven't received this for free. This is still an open invoice wanting me to pay for something that occurred in the public lobby.
I made the point. Let's move on. Thank you.
Are you aware that every circuit that has ruled on the right to record police has affirmed this right of the people?
I'm not aware of that. How are you referring to rulings where there is an ordinance restricting it in a police department's lobby?
I'm sorry, the answer was no.
objection.
I don't understand your question.
I think that was
Oh,
asking you to clarify your question.
every circuit in the United States of America that has ruled on the right to record police has affirmed that we have a right to record police. Are you aware of that?
I'm not aware of all the rulings of all the circuits in the United States of America, no, sir.
I don't know when the big moment happened for you, but here's when the big moment happened for me.
So there's a final opinion, and this has to do with the Fort Worth incident, the First Amendment audit that I did out there almost a year ago, a little over a year ago. So here's the verdict. So knowing me, I want my bad news first. So the bad news is the officers were granted qualified immunity on the First Amendment right only because recording police officers was not a clearly established right at the time. And they were also granted qualified immunity on the Fourth Amendment right because of certain circumstances. And I'll include a copy of the opinion in the description box below so you guys can check that out. Now, here's the good news. The good news is, starting today, there is a clearly established right to film police officers in the Fifth Circuit. And that is called Philip Turner versus Lieutenant Driver. That right there establishes that you have the First Amendment right to record police officers, and that covers all of the states in the Fifth Circuit. And it's the first of its kind. And
On the right to record police.
On the right to record police.
Right. Do you believe that observing and recording law enforcement personnel in public places is protected by the First Amendment?
Yes,
Just not in the public lobby?
not in a limited public forum where there is an ordinance restricting it, no, sir.